Hello guys, my name is Stealthy Striker and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing Nightwing number 84, the first part of the 3-part Nightwing Fear State event, which ties into the Batman Fear State event. But his story should be rather self-contained according to Tom Taylor. The people involved in this arc are going to be Tom Taylor as the writer, of course, and instead of Bruno Redondo as the artist, it will be Rodriguez. So, as usual, I will be reading through the comic book, giving my thoughts on each page, and my full review will be at the end of the comic, and I will be reading in real person, but I will be putting images of the panels as I'm reading them and reacting to them in real time on the screen. So let's get into it. On the first page, we have this really nice panel with Grayson saying, "Oh man, this is a lot. Fighting a bad guy, saving a life, that's something I'm used to. That's something I've trained for. But fighting an entire corrupt system, saving a whole city, there's no training for this. I'm in it. I stood in front of the cameras without my mask. I told the world I was going to transform the city. Bloodhaven is my responsibility." This is some really good art, in my opinion. I do like Redondo's a bit more, though. So then he jumps off and says, "It's up to me to bring down the monster in the highest tower," as he soars by Blockbuster, and to lift everyone struggling in the streets. "It's up to me to..." Gah! His earpiece goes static, and he says, "Oracle, can you hear me? Your signal's broken." Oracle. He then says, "It's not broken. It's a pattern. It's encrypted audio." Oracle says, "Park Row, Gotham, midnight, don't respond. Don't make contact. Communications potentially compromised." Grayson says, "Haley, you up for a sleepover?" I just really don't like them taking him out of Bloodhaven and moving him to Gotham. I think the Bat editors, Bat writers just need to let Dick stay in Bloodhaven. He just made this huge commitment to the city and you're going to drag him out already? Then a door opens and it says, "Well, hello there, Mr. Grayson. Is this Clancy from the 1996 Chuck Dixon?" Grayson says, "Oh, hey Clancy, I have to head to Gotham and I'm not sure how long I'll be gone. Would you, kids, want to watch Haley for the night?" "What happened?" "You brought a puppy within 20 feet of children. Don't worry. I'm sure she'll fare far better than the goldfish." "What happened to the goldfish?" One of the kids says, "What it deserved." And the door slams in front of Grayson. I'm really happy that they are, or Taylor at least, is making callbacks to previous series. Like Clancy, I don't think has been seen since the 1996 Dixon run. But it's nice to see her appear once again in Bloodhaven in a Nightwing run. I think that's a nice reference that not everyone will get, but people who have read Nightwing before will see this reference and know this character. Grayson, on the next page, this is once again some good art, but not as good as Redondo, says, "This is bad timing. Having just publicly announced my commitment to Bloodhaven, it feels wrong to turn my back on it." That's a sick bike, though. Like the Nightwing V on the front, and that's a cool helmet, too. My personal headcanon is that Grayson just uses one of Red Hood's helmets and paints it blue for his motorcycle helmet, which clearly isn't the case, but I just think that's really funny. So that's just what my personal headcanon is. And Grayson arrives in Gotham, saying, "It's good to have a prime example of exactly what I want to avoid. Right now, Gotham is the bleak poster child for dystopian overreach. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's super..." No, it's the final nail in the coffin of personal privacy. "A floating fortress surveying all of Gotham from above. Skybase 01. Headquarters to the Magistrate. Nightwing. Fear State. Part 1 of 3. An overfunded, overzealous, overmilitarized private police force. Absolute control under the pretense of safety. I'm sure everyone feels a lot safer with armored, gun-wielding soldiers marching through the streets. This is what happens when we suspect the worst of everyone. This is what happens when fear wins." And we see a guy just walking late at night and being shoved into what looks like an armored vehicle, similar to a Batmobile, if I'm being honest. And then we see Grayson patrolling through Gotham. We still have, a semi, of the ghostish images of Nightwing's movement. I think Redondo did it better, though. I'm really sorry, Rodriguez. I'm just bashing her out way too much. It's good. Grayson says, "I have to get to Park Row. I've never had a problem moving through Gotham without being seen, but operating in the shadows is a lot harder. when giant eyes in the sky can turn any shadow into harsh light in a second. Magistrate drones make moving in secret even harder. All rights to privacy and freedom have been waived, supposedly for Gotham's own good. I don't know why Babs wanted to meet me here, but if she calls, I answer. Call back to last issue. Dick Babs all the way, baby. Park Row. Better known as Crime Alley. I've always thought a rebrand could be worth trying. Pretty sure this place would attract a lot less atrocity if it was named Lawful Lane. Oracle, hello? This doesn't feel right. This feels like a trap. Oh. It's really interesting that this is happening in Crime Alley where Batman's parents died. I mean, at least they're incorporating a very important part of Batman lore into Nightwing's return to Gotham. So at least it doesn't feel like it's just some random place. It actually has some significant meaning behind it. So then we see magistrate soldiers jumping down on Grayson. He realizes that they're very dependent on their guns. So if he can stay close, he might be able to take them out. But he realizes that he's outnumbered and says, this isn't going to work. There are too many. I can't fight them all. I can't hit and run. Walls on both sides. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide in all this light. And one of the soldiers says, what's that? And Grayson says, that is a shadow. Next page, amazing art. I will give him this one. Of a bat. And we see Batman soaring down and squashing the magistrate soldier. And Nightwing activating his electrified Screamer stick. I really like how the Screamer stick looks. And just the Batman art on the panel above. Some solid artwork here. And then we see Nightwing and Batman taking out the soldiers with a few quips and stuff as well. Batman says, I didn't know they were coming for you. Grayson says, well, it's always nice to have company in a death trap. Batman says, I didn't know you were in Gotham. Grayson says, I received an encrypted message from Oracle asking me to be in Crime Alley. Batman then says, Oracle's system has been compromised. You can't trust communication from her network. That's not good. We have this nice panel of Grayson and Batman fighting more magistrate soldiers, and Grayson says, the dynamic duo. Unfortunately for these soldiers, we're a little more dynamic than we used to be. And they cause the soldiers to retreat, but Batman realizes that this means something more effective is coming. So they realize that they need to escape and that they have nowhere to go. So Grayson turns his Screamer stick. I think this is new. He turns into like a hammer, and he busts through the nearest window. And I find this quite funny. As they're running through this apartment building, Grayson says, we'll pay for the window, and hey, sorry about this, as they just run through different rooms. I think this is pretty funny. They're in the life or death situation, and it's just like, sorry about this, we broke your house, and even though it's like they're trying to, like, actually not die, but Nightwing still finds the time to do this. And then we see Nightwing and Batman, father like son, attack the drones by throwing their weapons at it. Nightwing throws in a Screamer stick. Batman, of course, throws his batarangs. And Grayson says, if we stay indoors, civilians are going to get hurt. Batman says, they'll see us on the streets. So Grayson suggests, or he says, then we go under the streets. Grayson says, I didn't know how bad things had gotten. Why didn't you call me? Batman says, you have your own city to protect. Grayson says, sure, but I can multitask. Batman says, you're needed in Bloodhaven. You're doing an effective job in your new home. An effective job, that's practically gushing praise from Bruce. Yeah, that really is essentially practically gushing praise. That is huge coming from Batman. Grayson says, Gotham is my home, and I'm here to help. Batman says, I need to get back out there. I have to track down the Scarecrow before the city takes it apart. Grayson says, where do you need me? Batman responds, someone is using Oracle's network to spread lies and fear to all of Gotham citizens. We need this person stopped. Oracle's at the clock tower. I'm sure Barbara will value having you at her side. I agree. I think that Barbara would value having Nightwing at her side. Dick Babs' last issue. And then we get this really nice moment from Nightwing saying, hey, Bruce, back there. Thanks for jumping into the ambush with me. Batman says, I know you could have handled the situation alone. Nightwing says, maybe, but it's still appreciated. Batman says, I watched my parents die in that alley. I wasn't going to let that happen to my son. A really good moment. With this in the last page, we're just getting so many really nice Batman praising or respecting Dick Grayson in this issue, which I really like. And then we cut to the clock tower, where Barbara says, what are you doing in Gotham? Nightwing says, "You called me here, or more accurately, whoever's posing at you lured me into certain death." Barbara says, "What? Are you okay?" Nightwing says, "I'm okay. Bruce showed up, made the certain death a lot less certain." Barbara said, "That's it. I can't do any more from here. I can't find who's doing this or where they're coming from, and I can't shut them down remotely. I think they're directly plugged into my system. I need to find exactly where they gained entry out there." Dick suggests, essentially, that she should just direct him where to go, and he would go there and solve the problem because of the technology holding her spine together. Babs says, "No need. I'm coming with you." Grayson responds with, "Babs, there's a hostile army on the street, and you have experimental technology holding your spine together. Just tell me what to look for and where to look." Barbara says, "No. The system I built is being used to hurt the city and my." Barbara says, "No. The system I built is being used to hurt the city and my friends, my family." As she dons the Batgirl costume and pulls out a bow staff, she says, "This is my fight. Next, battle for the voice of Gotham." Overall, I would say this issue is a solid 8 out of 10. I complained about it a lot in the beginning, but it started to grow to me at the end, grow on me towards the end. But I don't think the art style is as good as it's been in previous issues. I also didn't like how Dick Grayson has been once again dragged away from Bloodhaven for Gotham. But those are the only real negatives I have. Those are like the two things that bring this down to an 8 out of 10. But what I really enjoyed was the Dick Grayson and Batman moments, especially Batman saying he was doing an effective job in Bloodhaven, and the "I watched my parents die in this alley. I wasn't going to let my son die here either." And then, of course, Barbara Gordon becoming Batgirl again. I think it's quite interesting that I actually really like that she's now both Oracle and Batgirl at the same time. I don't think that's really happened before. I think it's normally one or the other. But Tom Taylor's having her be both, which I am really enjoying. Or I think I will enjoy. This suit also looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. So overall, solid action scenes, solid moments. I just don't like that they postponed Nightwing's current arc to bring him back to Gotham. And I prefer Redondo as an artist. But overall, really solid 8 out of 10. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.